What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another week of the Plus Money Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Q. You can follow me across those socials at Bets by Q. And of course, this podcast is brought to you by Black Sheep Betting, where it is a dog's world. Before we dive into tonight's primetime action, I've got to recap what went down over the weekend. All right. First off, please remember, check out the links in the description. There are two of them. One is for the VIP chat where I drop all of my official plays, and the other is for the free Discord chat with my boy Will from the Double Fault Tennis Podcast. Both communities are buzzing right now. You do not want to miss out. But let's talk about the weekend. VIP plays for me went 3-0-1. Capped off with a major cash with Colorado covering for multiple units. That one felt really good. But yesterday, we bypassed the day games in the NFL, loaded up 3 units on the Cowboys money line. People laughed at me. People said I was crazy. People even faded me, which is crazy because, how do you fade me right now in prime time? I'm absolutely hot. But it was a disgusting play. I admit it. I told people as a disclaimer, hey, I might be kicking myself for not taking the points. Indeed, I was. But I felt good because I knew that I was on the right side. But after 4 hours of football, here's my beef. It ends in a tie. Feels even more disgusting than the bet itself. Sure, we'll take the void. It's better than a loss. Man, the NFL really needs to revisit this overtime system. This is not Europe. Games should not end in a tie. It just feels incomplete. You rarely see them, and when they happen, they do nothing but skew the playoff picture for, week 16 through 18. I wouldn't even mind if they tried something like they do in college. 2-point plays after the first overtime. I don't know what the right answer is, but I do know this. Letting games end in a tie makes everyone feel like they wasted their time. From the betting angle, though, here's why this one stung for a lot of bettors. The Packers were the most popular teaser spot of the week, okay? Books were flooded with Green Bay teased from 6.5 down to 0.5 on a traditional 6-point teaser. And the way it played out, brutal. If you hedged, you lost. If you had the teaser, you really lost. This was a classic case of the books tightening the screws as the season goes on. Remember, the house will always win. And the lines are only going to get sharper from here on out. On the future side of things, as we switch gears for just one moment, our Mets ticket dies on game 162, the last game of the season. It dies in absolutely brutal fashion. But on the flip side, how about those Guardians? Walk off homer in the 10th, and they're in. Guardians' future is at plus 4,000, is alive and well, and that's exactly the kind of spot we wanted heading into October. So here's where we're at. Playoff baseball starts tomorrow. Be careful. Just going to give you a brief warning. Be careful with those totals. I know they're going to look super low, but playoff baseball is completely different. It's kind of like hockey in the postseason. Runs are at a premium. Managers have short leashes on their pitchers, and every single pitch matters. It will feel like that. We will pick our spots carefully, but I'm excited to hand out some futures tomorrow. And don't forget, hockey is a week away as well. So we've got a lot going on across every sport right now. But for today, let's lock in. I've got 2 primetime plays in the NFL. And after yesterday brings my primetime record to 12 2-1. All right. So let's dive into Monday Night Football. Jets versus Dolphins in South Beach. On paper, this one does not look like a primetime classic. Both teams 0-3, both desperate, both are searching for an identity. But that, to me, is what makes this game so interesting. And even more so, it's a divisional game, right? I'm a Bills fan. AFC East is obviously dominated by Buffalo right now. But just other than the Bills, everybody else has been quite horrible. So somebody has to come out of Hard Rock Stadium with their first win of the year. And I think the Jets are live to be that team today. Last week against Tampa, the Jets were buried. 20 unanswered points in the middle quarters. Game looked dead. But in the fourth quarter, they fought back. Blocked field goal. We've seen that a lot. Return. Defensive energy. And suddenly they were punching until the final whistle. That's the kind of response that matters. It shows that this team does not have quit on them, and they do not have quit on their coach, Aaron Glenn. And in fact, they might be closer to breaking through than people probably realize. And I'll admit, I'm just a little bit biased. I have some personal relations to Coach Glenn and his family. Very humble family, great people. It makes me want to see them succeed even more. And the truth is, Glenn is one of the most defensive-minded coaches in the league. He built up Detroit's defense as a coordinator. He was the secondary coach in New Orleans. And obviously, he was a player for these very same Jets. And he even has some bad history with the Dolphins. If you know, you know. I don't want to stick the knife in, but Dan Marino's fake spike, Glenn got beat, the Jets collapsed, and it spiraled into the New York Jets losing 32 of their next 36 games. It really was in that moment that the phrase "same old Jets" was born. Jets fans don't forget that. That's why this matchup carries emotional substance and why it would be a poetic win for Glenn to get his first win here as a head coach against Miami on Monday night. Now let's talk the Dolphins. I hate to be the shut up and play kind of guy because I feel as though when you have a platform, you need to use it. Okay? But it has been glaringly obvious for years why Brian Flores wanted Justin Herbert instead of Tua. I don't see any leadership in Tua Tagovailoa. And I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of left-handed quarterbacks. I never have been. The game naturally flows to the right for the majority of players. So that subtle adjustment, to me, it matters. That's why outside of, Steve Young and Michael Vick, some could even say Boomer Esiason, you don't see successful left-handed quarterbacks. They tend to struggle. On top of that, Tua doesn't throw the ball downfield. McDaniels has been babying him with short passes, RPOs, screens. And I don't know if it's for Tua or if it's for McDaniels' job security. Yes, it's tactical, but when you've got to go 70 yards in crunch time, it's not sustainable. You can see it. I can see it. The world can see it. The NFL can see it. And then on top of that, your best player doesn't believe in the quarterback. Tyreek Hill has no belief in Tua. You can tell. This Dolphins team, it looks dejected, like they don't trust their QB1. So when you line all this up, Miami's defense has given up 30 points every week as well. The Jets have a three-headed rushing attack, and I think they're going to utilize it tonight, especially in a chance of, rain and scattered showers in this game, right? You've got Brees Hall, Braylon Allen, Justin Fields. I think Glenn is going to be able to scheme up and have a little bit more hands-on say defensively on the game plan. Really just built on pride and history. This is a very tough matchup for Miami. I love the Jets as a dog here. They move the ball, they play with emotion, and Aaron Glenn gets his first win as a Jets head coach in poetic fashion against the Dolphins. Official play here, Jets on the money line, plus 125, 1 unit, lock it in. All right, let's close out week 4 with Bengals, Broncos on Monday Night Football. We get a doubleheader. Fantastic. Here's where we're at. Cincinnati's rolling with Jake Browning again after Burrow went down and now will be out 3 months due to a severe case of turf toe. That will require surgery. He will be gone, potentially probably for the rest of the season. Okay. Browning is pretty comfortable with this offense, right? Despite having 140 yards last week, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. But the bigger problem here is that the Bengals can't run the ball. Chase Brown has 47 carries for 93 yards. That's under 2 yards per play, per rush. You cannot win in this league like that. So the entire offensive load falls on the wideouts. But here's the catch. Your number 1 today, Jamar Chase, who won the Triple Crown last year, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the league, will get the Pat Surtain treatment. The reigning defensive player of the year has absolutely locked him down. Limited sample size, 2 previous matchups, 4 catches for 30 yards in those 2 games in total for Jamar Chase. That's why the line is sitting at a shockingly low 60.5 yards receiving for Jamar Chase. And I get it. It's a scary number if you're looking at this matchup on paper, but this is where game script matters, okay? The books are telling us that the Bengals are 7.5-point favorites, so more times than not, the book is telling us, hey, the Bengals are going to be playing with a lead. The Broncos are 7.5-point favorites. The Broncos will be playing with the lead. Bengals are 2-1, but they've actually been outscored 91-58 this season. That tells me that they're going to be playing from behind. And when that happens, the ball has to go in Chase's direction, whether he's blanketed or not. Think quick motions, bubble screens, shovel passes, any way that you can get him the ball, let him create after the catch. He has shown us time and time again that he can do so. You just have to give him the ball. You give the best receiver in football 10 plus looks, he's going to clear this number. I don't care who is guarding him. Now Denver, they've had their hearts ripped out 2 straight weeks. Both came on losses or on last second field goals. And this is a team that's blown 4th quarter leads in back-to-back games. But the thing about the Broncos is they've been a different beast at home. They've won 6 straight at Mile High. The last team to beat them there was the Chargers almost a year ago. As far as the engine for this team, I'm going to say that it's J.K. Dobbins. First year in Denver, already over 220 rushing yards and 3 scores. He's gone for 60 plus and a touchdown every single game. First Bronco to do that in his debut with the team. Last week, the Bengals got gashed. 116 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns by Jordan Mason. So you better believe that Sean Payton is going to be dialing up Dobbins early and often. Bo Nix, meanwhile, has shown bounce-back DNA. Every time he's lost 2 in a row, he's answered with a big performance. 80% completion percentage, over 280 yards a game, 8 touchdowns, no picks. That's not just managing the game. That's producing at a very high level. So here's how I see this one. I'm not going to pick a side. Denver is going to control this one with Dobbins and their defense at home, but since his only chance to hang around is feeding Jamar Chase, that's why I like the over 60.5 yards on Jamar Chase, minus 105. It's too short for the type of player who can break a screen into a 30-yard gain. The Broncos probably win this game, but the bet for me is Chase to get volume and smash that number over 16.5 receiving yards for the best receiver in football. Lock it in, 1 unit. I'll see you at the counter. Okay? 2 plays on the board today, 2 units, both in primetime football. Please be sure to check out those links in the description. We would love to have you in the free chat. Until Tuesday, I'll be back here with more plus money plays from around the sports world. We've got playoff baseball tomorrow. Lock in, and I'll be back. As always, my name is Q from Black Sheep Betting, and I hope each and every one of you get each and every one of you.